we're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're brothers. Give me a high five.
Your brothers? No. Yes!
What's up, everybody? You're watching and or listening to the Kyle and Craig Show. My name is Kyle.
My name is Craig. And this week's episode, for the first time ever, is sponsored. We are being sponsored by Mexitali Pizza in Mondaline. It's a new pizza place that's opening up from a family I'm really close with. They're opening April 18th, which is, you guys watching this probably Monday, which would be this Wednesday. And it's this Mexican-Italian cross blend of a pizza restaurant. It's a beautiful place. It's really awesome. I've been inside a couple of times now. I went to the food taste test. I tried the guacamole pizza.
Yeah.
Ask me what's on a guacamole pizza, Kyle.
What's on the guacamole pizza, Craig?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
dude.
good?
So it's
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, dude, it is amazing. So it's like a thin crust pizza, and then it's got salsa verde instead of marinara sauce. You know, as the thing, and then it's got cheese, chorizo, which is game changing.
Yeah.
And then guacamole and pico de gallo to top it off.
Wow.
Yeah. So they got the guacamole pizza. It is fire, and then they got the Mexitali pizza, which is going to be like pretty much like a taco pizza. Yeah. So it's sort of the same thing, except so it's the salsa verde, cheese, and then it's like asada, cilantro, and onion. Yeah. So kind of like a taco. Yeah. And then they got the Mexitali pizza, pasta, Mexitali burger, and all these different things. They got burgers, pastas, build your own pasta, salads, sandwiches, pretty much everything. And it's this great blend of the two. And then obviously you can get your regular American burger. You can get your regular pepperoni and sausage pizza, you know, whatever you want. Yeah. But they also have their specialty blends that they're doing. But they've asked us to sponsor them on the show, and you know, we're doing each other some favors there. So go check them out. The grand opening is going to be 25% off of everything on the menu, April 18th. Just tell them Colin Craig sent you, and they'll take care of you. Those are my people over there. In fact, I'll probably be there all day Wednesday. Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and then this week we're going to talk about
last night's UFC fights on Fox.
Yeah, UFC on Fox.
UFC Fight Night, Poirier versus Gaethje.
Yeah, which was bonkers insane. Yeah. And I happened to miss it. So for the first time, I'm balls deep in UFC. Kyle is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, UFC number one me, and then you came in, right? Yeah. But last night you watched the card without me because I went out and I went to the movies. It
was a good card.
And then it's what I'm pretty friggin' upset about. I missed it. But I did go to the movies and I saw Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Oh, hold on, pause. Let me go back.
Spoilers.
Before, yeah, definitely some spoiler alerts. So if you haven't seen A Quiet Place yet,
skip ahead.
Just skip ahead to like maybe like 10 minutes.
Skip ahead.
But I went out and I tried sushi last night.
Disgusting,
bro. I swear to God, never the fuck again.
I can smell your breath.
Yeah, man, dude, I could taste it in the popcorn later. Oh, that's disgusting. I was like, God, this is horrible. Lalo and Brenda, my friends, they were just like egging me on. They're like, dude, just try it. Like, come on, just try it.
You tried sushi.
I tried sushi, man. Like full on sushi. Like it wasn't even like. Because that's like a California roll. Yeah. This was like a crab roll. It was like it had all this stuff on it. Yeah, like as sushi can be. It wasn't even like kind of like try this and see if you like it, and then maybe move on to the next one. Yeah. Bro, I swear to God, I almost puked, and I probably psyched myself out, right? Yeah. But like I almost threw up on the table. I had to like get up and go to the bathroom and spit it out. Because I felt mad disrespectful. Yeah. Yeah. But it was so fucking gross. Never again. Maybe not never again.
I would never do that.
But like I might try one of these California rolls. Because they were telling me a California roll is just rice, avocado, carrots, and something else. I'm like, I like that.
So where's the sushi?
What do you mean?
In the California roll, sushi.
Because see, the thing about the sushi, it wasn't even the fish that made me throw up. It's the texture. And it's the way it all felt. And it was that seaweed wrap and the thing that's in it. And it's just very... Can't like... Oh, it's so gross, man. It's like crunchy, but also chewy and also stringy. And so I was trying to like swallow it, and then like
hashtag. You could feel a little fish moving.
Hashtag gross as fuck.
The fish were moving, trying to get
like,
out of your throat.
Half of the wrap was down, and then like the other half was still in my mouth. So I had this like situation.
That's disgusting.
It was fucking disgusting.
Fucking gross.
Never eating sushi again. But anyways, then I went to see A Quiet Place. Greatest movie ever. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's seriously the fucking shit. So I went in there with no expectations, nothing, nada. I came in and I didn't know what it was about. All I knew was that John Krasinski had written and directed it, and
you like him because of The Office.
Yeah, and I like him because of The Office, and his wife is in it, Emily Blunt. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, I like this guy, and I heard it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't know it was about these like things that killed. I thought it was like a slasher film kind of thing. Dude, it's so fucking good. It's a silent film, essentially. essentially.
There's
no talking. So you can't make a fucking noise without these things killing you. These demonic looking.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever you watch Stranger Things?
No.
You ever saw Stranger Things?
I'm the only person on the planet who doesn't watch Stranger Things.
Okay, definitely watch Stranger Things. It's only 10 episodes long. And it's the shit. Yeah. But it's these they almost look like dogs. Like they walk on all fours, and it's these big demonic looking things, and they're blind, but they have this supersonic hearing.
Yeah.
So if you make any fucking peep, they jump out and get you, and they're just like they're not like all over the place, like the whole planet, but there's they've wiped out a good amount of humanity.
Yeah.
Because they just hear you and they fucking kill you. So within the first, spoiler alert, just cover your ears. Within the first 3 minutes of the movie, you're gonna watch it? Should I not spoil it?
I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay. Within the first 3 minutes of the movie, one of their fucking sons die.
Oh, that's
He's
horrible.
like 4 years old, and they're walking on this trail, and it's like one in front of the other, and he's like the last one behind, and you just hear like, pew, 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 yin, 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 yin. He's got this airplane toy that he stole from the store earlier, and they'll just turn around, and the mom's in tears because she knows it's about to go down, and then just right in front of them, and you can't scream, you can't cry, you can't be like, oh my god, my son. You can't chase them because they're gonna kill you, and what good is that? So
wow,
you pretty much have to take the L. Your 4-year-old kid just died right in front of your eyes. Yeah,
that's fucked up. That's so fucked up.
But they just did such a beautiful job with the movie. The attention to detail, man. You don't even notice it unless you have that eye. You know what I'm saying?
That eye, the fucking eye.
Yeah. But it's just crazy the things they have to go through. She's pregnant, right? So then it fast forward to a couple of months later, I think, and she's pregnant. And then the first thing I think of, dude, she can't make a fucking peep. She has to give birth in silence. They need to teach this baby to be quiet right away. They can't make a fucking noise, dude. And then
for sure don't get pregnant.
Yeah,
dumbass.
For sure don't have. I didn't put.
Fuck is wrong with you? Pull out.
Spill downstairs.
Yeah,
save yourself in the family.
You're so dumb.
I'm just kidding. But and then one of the daughters is deaf. So they all already knew sign language.
That's cool.
So I think that's how this family has gotten so far. Because they're all, all this yada yada. Yeah, it's really dope. But it's just done so beautifully well. And a movie without talking, when you don't have to worry so much about a script.
Yeah.
And you let everything else tell the story, man. Yeah. The shots, the directing, the way they're set up, their signs, their languages.
Does it give you subtitles for the sign language?
It does. Okay. Yeah. And it's just cool. There's 8 words spoken. There's just one scene where he takes his son to a waterfall, and then he's like, dude, they're gonna hear it. He's like, no, they're used to the water. They're not gonna. They've come to the water 100 times, and they're not gonna come again.
Yeah.
Because the waterfall and the river just make noise. He's like, he's like, it's okay to talk here, and then they just scream like wolves because they've been silent for the last 6 months. So they just woo, and then it's just kind of letting it out.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's
really, it's really interesting. And then it just takes place over a day or two. Anyways, I don't want to go too far into it.
No, definitely man, that's fucking awesome as shit.
Yeah, but it's on camera. Nah, we're good. But it's just one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. And then it's
so different, man. I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, I thought it was honestly from the fucking trailers. It's I don't know. The way the trailer looks, it looks like cheesy. If you say a word, if you speak, they'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's been other movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one? The fucking one where if you scream, she'll die. What is that? Fucking
eye.
No, the doll movie.
Dead Silence.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
And if you scream, she'll kill you.
There's
shit like
one,
that.
There's another one that this sort of reminded me of. It might have been Stranger Things, but yeah, it's like that. Where it's if you.
So that's what I thought it was. I thought it was one of those lame
yeah, me too. I didn't know.
Scream, you die.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's not 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It might have dropped to 95%,
yeah,
but when I first heard about it. But either way, dude, you know what I'm saying? Wonder Woman was an 80%.
Yeah,
that movie was fucking game changing. So I was like, I go see this movie. It was really fucking good. But in the long run, I did miss UFC Fight Night.
You did.
Now you saw it.
We saw some of them. You were here for what?
I saw Muslim Salami something. Hashtag no racist. But the guy's name is Muslim. Something. Again, something.
Yeah, so we didn't see the beginning of the card.
No,
we saw.
Not important. Wilson.
Yeah,
Hayes
no.
Lost.
So we turned it on when it was Solikov
Muslim
versus
Solikov.
Rainey.
Yeah,
and
That was a good fight.
That was a knockout TKO in the second round.
Mm-hmm. By Muslim. Muslim got the knockout.
Yeah, Solikov got the knockout, 26 strikes, 21 strikes.
It was a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was short. But
we had some big names on this
4 minutes and 12 seconds. That means that there was like 40 seconds left?
40 seconds left.
Okay, all right. I can never remember.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good fight. And then we watched the Carlos Jr. versus Bochy fight.
Carlos Jr. He's been on a tear lately. I think he's on like a 5-fight win streak, and then Tim Bosch is like a legend of the sport. He's been around forever too.
Yeah.
Right. And then Carlos Jr. He was winning the fight.
Yeah, he was winning the fight. I mean, it was the first round. 35 strikes to 13, 1 takedown, 1 submission, 1 pass by Carlos Jr.
Yeah.
He was pretty much dominating the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to go that way, to be honest with you. And then it was a submission.
The rear naked choke.
With again, another 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
The rear naked choke, and he got him. It was insane.
Yeah, that was bonkers. Hope we got some sort of bonus for that or something. Some sort of submission of the night.
Yeah, it might be a submission night. But then what's his name? Later on in the card. The chokehold.
Oh, shit. Really I missed that. So. Alex Oliveira. Shit.
So then we started watching Waterson versus Casey.
Yeah, and Waterson, now they call her the Karate Hottie, might be the prettiest female in UFC.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's definitely her, Claudia Gaethje,
Ronda Rousey,
Paige Van Zandt. Ronda Rousey ain't bad either.
I know.
But I think the Karate Hottie.
They are all very pretty people.
Yeah.
So Waterson won the fight. Split decision. I didn't think it was split decision because it's 77 strikes to 64 strikes for Waterson. 3 takedowns by Waterson. 3 submission attempts by Casey. She tried that armbar 3 times.
Yeah, I saw the 2 of those before I leave.
So the stats show was a little bit closer than I think it was.
Yeah.
But Waterson was just so much more busy.
Yeah.
She was so active. And Casey was just sitting and waiting.
For that armbar.
Yeah, and she's just so big. She's so much bigger than Waterson. She should have used her length. When they were up, she kept trying to take her down. And then as soon as they took her down, she kept trying to do submissions. And, she should have used her length. Because Waterson wanted to strike. Yeah. She should have used her length. You know what I mean? And she just didn't. So she just didn't do enough. And 3 armbar attempts is cool, but I didn't think it was a split decision. I thought it should have been a
unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision for Waterson. But then Casey almost had an armbar with 30 seconds left. So they get on the ground again, and it's 40 seconds left, and then the arms locked like this. So she's trying to pull it away from Waterson
and get that real extension in the elbow,
into the armbar, and then it's 20 seconds. And then it's 10 seconds.
She's getting farther and farther.
5 seconds. And it's oh,
she finally locks it in with 5 seconds.
Yep. And then the buzzer went off. And it was oh my God.
Literally Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, Saved by the Bell. Because if there was another 30 seconds, she would have gotten the armbar.
Yeah.
Because every time she tried it 3 times. You were here for most of the fight. But every time it was never a full she never had complete control of Waterson.
Yeah.
To be able to get the whole thing. Because Waterson always slipped out.
Yeah.
But in that final one, man, she must have just been tired.
Yeah, and just not had anything left.
Yeah, she had nothing left because she had the armbar locked.
Yeah. I hear throwing those armbars is one of the most tiring things ever because it's such a body fuck to you, to the person attempting it because you're squeezing your core, you're popping your hips out because your hips is where their elbow is. So
yeah,
you're trying to hyper extend that elbow, and you're also using your quads and your calves because your legs are locking their other arm into place on the opposite side of the body, right? Your quads are trying to keep their head in place and have them resisted to the ground while also pulling this back and using your torso to tweak it. And your back
it's a whole body workout thing.
It's like a seizure, worth of just fucking, you're trying to do this. So and she threw 3 massive arm bars. I missed the third one, but the first 2, she's putting everything into it, and the Karate Hottie just did her thing and got out of it really well. So I could see why she'd be gassed by the time she got to that third one because that shit just takes it out of you.
Well, no, not Casey was gassed. Waterson was gassed.
Oh shit!
So it was the end of the fight. There was 10 seconds left. Yeah. She was obviously the busier fighter.
Yes, she was gassed.
That was the third armbar was the one where it was the closest.
Well, I'm a retard.
So I get what you're saying.
Yes.
And that makes sense. But that was the closest armbar
but also,
she had.
You're completely wrong. Yeah. And then it moves on to so Waterson, and she needed that win because she's come off of 2 losses to Jessica Rose Clark. And then Rose Namajunas. So she needed a big win to get back into contention at 115. And that was followed by Israel Adesanya and Martin Vicini.
Vettori. Yeah.
And Israel Adesanya they're calling him, and he doesn't like the comparison. They're calling him the next John Jones, the next Anderson Silva, saying like he's the next killer of a division, especially at 185, where it's kind of like out of the top 4, top 5, it's kind of lackluster. You got Yoel Romero, you got Robert Whittaker. Luke Rockhold is probably out of the division. He's probably going to 205.
Yeah.
And then you got like Chris Weidman. That might be it. Like as far as like top contenders go at 185, it's definitely one of the weaker divisions in the sport, and they're saying this kid could definitely clean it up and make a run,
Yeah.
But
and he had his UFC debut
earlier this year,
and he completely dominated.
Yeah, he
the living shit out of
that
somebody.
ass,
I can't
and then
remember.
he peed all over the cage. He pretended. He emotionally he walked around He walked around the cage pretending to pee.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
like, I just marked my territory. This is my fucking cage.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then he's like, saying like next time I'm gonna take a shit in this bitch or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. So they fought, and
you saw the whole.
Vettori's a big ass dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
He's big. He's the youngest Italian fighter in the UFC history. So he's got some weight on his shoulders. I don't have his record in front of me, but he had like 2 losses. So if Adesanya was 10-0 last night, this guy was like 13 or 12-2 and something.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a pretty good record too. You know what I mean? But it ended up going to split decision at the end of the 3rd round in favor of Adesanya, and 67 strikes for Adesanya, 60 for Vettori, 2 takedowns for Vettori, and a pass by Vettori. And so watching it, I didn't think split decision, but looking at these stats and we're kind of remembering how the fight went, I'd call it split decision because Adesanya wasn't dominant at all.
Yeah.
And we found weaknesses in his game. Dominic Cruz was saying that like this dude just can't wrestle.
Yeah.
Like,
because he comes from a kickboxing background.
Yeah, he's a kickboxing guru.
Yeah, like phenom.
And so if he obviously Vettori's a better wrestler, and he had Adesanya on his back at times, and he just wasn't doing anything. It was like who was that big ass dude that Cleveland beat the shit out of?
Stipe Miocic, and then when he got
like
Francis
a Stipe
Ngannou.
Miocic thing, like
when he got Ngannou down, Ngannou had no defense, no wrestling.
Yeah, so he's just laying there flat on his back, feet are flat, like just no movement until like Vettori just moved too much, and then Adesanya was able to stand up. And then so they went back to striking. And so that's why I
thought of like
the Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah. He's standing straight up.
Yeah. So funny.
I'm surprised that the G-Force didn't kill him alone.
Yeah, exactly. Like just like that. And so it was a pretty uneventful fight. I was pretty excited to see him. And it wasn't that good. But he won, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, he did get the W.
And he was saying that he just wants to stay busy. That
he's already fought twice, and it's only fucking June. April. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can for sure fight again.
If not 2 more times, dude.
Yeah.
You can fight April, May, June, July. He'll probably fight in July at some point, and then you can have another fight in like November, December.
Especially when you don't get hurt, you can fight a lot more, and especially in the 3-round fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you do like 5-round fights 4 times a year. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
He's very young in his MMA career, and in kickboxing, he took very little damage. So like he definitely has a chance to be an upcomer. And I think like we were saying before the show, it's good to get these smaller fights. It's good that they're doing it right, because the UFC oftentimes, in Francis Ngannou's example,
I think it all depends on I guess
like
right. How many fights did Ngannou have
in the UFC?
Yeah,
like 5 maybe.
Well, that's a lot of fights, and he dominated the shit out of people.
And he was knocking heads off. Like he fought Curtis Blades. I'm not even trying to remember.
I don't think it's a good
Mark Hunt, Alistair Overeem.
Because I was gonna compare.
I don't think he fought Mark Hunt.
The fight that we're coming up to, the main card.
Yeah.
Justin
Gaethje and Justin Poirier.
This is his 3rd fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
But he was such a dominant champion in his other.
Yeah, he was in the World Series of Fighting.
Yeah, that like you already know his background, you already know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
So he's had 3 headliner fights. His first 3 fights in the UFC. That's like unheard of.
Yeah.
But because of where he came from, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna throw just because he's like a prodigy doesn't mean you're gonna put him in with the freaking wolves.
Exactly.
You know
so like Adesanya is like a prodigy, but he didn't fight all these killers in his last.
And kickboxing is way different. Like,
exactly.
Gaethje fought in
the World Series of Fighting. I mean, he was fighting some killers over there. MMA, yeah.
Right?
That's like it goes.
So he knows the wrestling. He knows the jiu-jitsu. He knows all that.
And he was the champion of the division at 155 for a while.
Champion.
Like
so
he crushed everybody in that whole thing.
And then he
and then he became a free agent, and it was like, what's he gonna go to Bellator? What's he gonna come to the UFC? And then he's like, I want fucking Conor. I'm gonna come to the UFC and kick this kid's head off. Yeah. Which he very well could do, because if it was him and Conor standing there brawling, it's a fucking...
I don't know.
Yeah,
based
it
off
could,
last night.
Yeah, and not based off. He has the power to beat anybody at that division, but he just leaves himself open so much.
Yeah,
because of it, you know, that's why he gets clipped. But so, anyways, Adesanya looked lackluster. We'll dive into Poirier.
He wasn't happy with it. At the end of the fight, he wasn't happy with it. A win's a win, but he was not happy with it.
Yeah,
so
I'd like.
It's good to see that he wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do something else by, like I said, like July, and then get a big contender towards the end of the year. Maybe like Kevin Gastelum or a Luke Rockhold or Chris Weidman or something like that. Like by the end of the year or early next year.
You want to see him fight Chris Weidman?
I know he looks skinny compared to that other dude. Other dude was beefy, and like you'd have to compare them standing side by side.
You just jump from Vettori in his second fight.
If he has 2 more fights this year, and then he gets a top 5 contender next year, if he wins, that'd be 4 fights in a row in a year. Definitely deserves top 10.
I guess it
top
all
5
depends
fighter.
on
who the next 2 fights are.
Yeah, and who
like if he kicks the Eraser into fucking next Wednesday.
Oh yeah, he should fight fucking Eraser.
Paulo Costa. I'll put up a picture of Paulo Costa. Fucking so best body in UFC. # no homo.
So is he even here?
Who?
He's not even ranked.
Adesanya? No.
Yeah.
He's only had 1 fight.
Yeah, I know. 2 fights. So Paulo Costa's 14. Machida's 12. Thiago Santos is 11. Like Thiago Santos is a beast.
That'd be a fight.
That's a man. Uriah Hall. Vitor Belfort.
Any one of these would be good fights for him next.
Derek Brunson. Michael Bisping is still fighting.
Scary.
Kevin Gastelum.
Scary.
Oh, I thought you were like Chris Weidman. So for sure, 2 more fights.
So okay.
And then ending up with Chris Weidman. No, the division's a little bit deeper than we thought.
If we have him, I'd like to see him fight.
Let's just pretend Michael Bisping doesn't count because he'll have 1 more fight and then might retire.
Yeah,
right?
And they're talking about having him fight like Luke Rockhold or someone else. Yeah, no. But just going through it here, Machida is fighting Belfort, so that's 12 versus 9. This is going to put him in the top 15 for sure. Brad Tavares probably out. I could see him fighting Paulo Costa, and if he beats him, if he finds a way to beat that guy, that's big for him, and it'd be big for both of them.
Because Costa's only had 1 fight.
Yeah, I think, and that was the last one was against Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah. He needs to fight again.
Yeah, he does. When this
need to get
fight.
busy.
Yeah, dude, they do. Or fight a guy in Uriah Hall or David Branch or Thiago Santos. Because they're big names in the division,
David Branch beat?
But they're not killers. David Branch, I don't remember the last person he beat.
We saw him fight.
We saw him fight Luke Rockhold, and he got
rocked.
Yeah, he got
right.
the shit beat out of him. His next fight. Okay, so he's fighting Thiago Santos April 21st in Atlantic City.
Well, there you go.
David Branch, but he just fought Luke Rockhold. So
if those take care of themselves. Then I can see him moving up. But there's a lot of people in there. He needs to fight and beat first before he goes up to Chris Weidman.
Yeah, that top 5 is fucking scary. Kevin Gastelum, Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold, Jacare Souza, Jacare Souza, Yoel Romero, Robert Whittaker.
Size isn't everything in fighting, but like it's just
he's a tiny dude.
Yeah, he's a tiny guy.
He needs to beef up a little bit and then just cut better. So that was the 3rd fight of the night, right? Or the 3rd, second to last. I don't fucking know. And then that we had the
co-main event.
Yes, thank you. Co-main event, which was my guy, one of my favorite fighters of all time, Carlos Condit versus Cowboy
Oliveira.
Alex Oliveira? Cowboy Oliveira. I think his name is Alex. But anyways, they call him Cowboy. And he's a Brazilian nightmare. He used to fight at 155, and now he's fighting at 170, I believe. Or he's always been at 170. But, yeah, break it down. I didn't see the fight.
Yeah, so it was a good fight. Oliveira won the fight in second round by submission. What is that submission called? Just a choke?
It was a guillotine choke.
Guillotine choke.
From what I read.
And it was a good fight. Condon looked like he had control. 42 strikes for Condon. 1 takedown, 1 submission, 2 passes. Oliveira had 22 strikes, 3 takedowns, 1 submission, 4 passes. So the striking was a lot different.
Can you run me through what Condit had one more time?
42, 1, 1, and 2.
Okay, that's not bad at all. So you like almost did double strikes.
Yeah, double the amount of strikes.
In just a round. 42 strikes in a round?
Yeah, in 2 rounds.
That ain't fucking bad. Yeah, like a round and a half.
Yeah, a round and a half.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
From what I heard Luke Thomas say, who's an MMA analyst, been around forever, that like he compared it because Carlos Condit, if you guys don't know, or if you only listen to UFC when we talk about it, he's like a legend in the sport. He's fought George St. Pierre, Tyron Woodley, Nick Diaz, fucking anybody and everybody, Johnny Hendricks, I believe, and his prime He's like top 2 in the division. He was the interim champion while George St. Pierre was out. And then he lost to GSP. He's been on a little bit of a slump as of late, and a lot of people think it's just age and time catching up to him. He recently fought and lost to Neil Magny. Before that, he lost to and then his thing is too, he's been in some fucking wars. He lost to Tyron Woodley, where he like broke his leg in the middle of a fight, and then he had like fight of the year candidate against Robbie Lawler a couple of years ago, 2016, and that was just a fucking brutal brawl. And then so he's lost this, I think it's 3 or 4 in a row. But anyways, I bring it up because he is old and he's the legend. But like what Luke Thomas was saying is that like when we saw BJ Penn leave the sport,
you knew.
Yeah, when he fought like Yair Rodriguez, he was just getting fucking teed off on. Like here's this new kid just beating the brakes off of a legend in BJ Penn, and you just knew. You could see he wasn't moving right. He wasn't doing this right. He wasn't doing the obvious things that a veteran should know and do. And again, I didn't watch the fight, but from what Luke Thomas said, kind of wasn't like that.
He looked like good. I mean, 42 to 22 strikes. It's not, you know what I mean, which is nothing to laugh at. And so they were saying that he won the first round. DC was saying that about Condon, but Oliveira clipped him and he started bleeding, so he's a bleeder.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of from the back of the dome.
Yeah, it must have been doing something, and so he was bleeding from the side of his head, and Oliveira was taking him down a couple times, but he wasn't doing much. And that's why they gave the first round to Condon.
Because even with a lot of people think if you get a takedown in the round or you get a knockdown in the round, it's automatically 10-8, and that's just not how it works. If you take me down and I do more off my back than you do on top, it's kind of like
and
it would almost be benefit me. You know?
Yeah, and kind of ended up on top.
Anyways,
holy shit!
It's fucking snowing in April.
What the fuck?
That's trash. I'm gonna go get me some Buc-ee's after this. Anyways,
so Condon was on top, and then so he was bleeding, and it was towards like the second round. Condon was on top of him, and he was just bleeding all over Oliveira.
And he was kind of doing like a stacked thing, right, where he had like his feet.
No, they were on top of each other then, and then Condon got up, and Oliveira didn't get up, and that's when you started watching the highlights. Yeah. And so while Condon was up, and Oliveira was on the ground, Oliveira was using his feet and doing those long leg kicks.
Yeah.
And while Condon was trying to get him, he clipped him right against the chin, and that's where you saw that.
Yeah,
and then he just fell over.
Yeah.
He fell like right on top of Oliveira, and they kind of did this weird somersault switcheroo thing.
Yeah.
And they both somehow ended up on their feet, and then Condon went for the double leg takedown. And obviously being out of it, his head was way too down, and fucking Oliveira just got him in the guillotine, and it was pretty much over after that. Condon fought it. He was in that guillotine for a while.
Yeah.
I know Cruz was saying, like, no, he's just faking it. He's faking it because he wasn't out yet.
He was trying to almost pretend like he was out.
So Oliveira would let up, and then
thinking he was
could
done.
Get out. Yeah. And he wasn't, and then eventually Oliveira he was just on top of him. Yeah, and that guillotine was just so tight. He ended up tapping.
Oliveira's a muscular cat. You know what I'm saying?
He's a
so
beast,
imagine
dude.
that fucking
and
a guillotine choke. For those who don't know, it's pretty much any like noogie situation you've ever had your little brother in ever, where you just have your entire arm wrapped around their neck with their neck and head right here between your armpit, and then it's squeeze and crank.
Yeah,
so you're getting your head cranked down.
Yeah, I would.
And also choked. You know.
So that was a good fight, man. But something I didn't even mention to you, and they didn't even show it on the highlights. Condon almost had him.
Oh, really?
In a rear naked choke at the end of the first round.
And so like if
you're on my body, and I'm underneath you, and I got my legs on you, and I'm around your neck like that, rear naked choke.
Yep.
So he never like fully got it.
Yeah.
So he had his left arm around the neck of Oliveira.
Yeah.
And Oliveira was just holding that right arm, so he couldn't
coming into
getting the full lock.
Yeah.
DC was saying like you can still do it one-handed, but you could tell he never fully got it underneath the chin.
Yeah, because when you're doing a rear naked choke, the defense for it is to chuck your chin.
Yeah.
So then
it was there, but it was never fully underneath.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't have done it one-handed. So he was trying to get the right, and then like it just eventually like slipped under his head.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that was done. And there was like 30 seconds left, and then no, he came back around and got it again.
He's such a killer,
and almost got it. Condon almost got it, and then like he was just like couldn't get it, and then like 10-9, and then the round ended, and it was like if there was like another 30 seconds, he might have been able to get it to lock it in. But it was I forgot to tell you that part was good. So again, the first round, you almost had him out on a fucking rear naked choke. Like the first round was his. He looked good.
Yeah.
But then he started bleeding, and it's just
like I said, he's one of my favorite fucking fighters.
Yeah.
And I love watching him fight. I love his style. He's great off his back. He's
natural born killer, right?
He's the natural born killer. I mean, if you guys ever want to watch an MMA fight, you ever want to see what two people are made of and them leaving it in the fucking cage, it's probably free on YouTube. Look up Carlos Condon versus Robbie Lawler. That was for the championship belt at 175 pounds before Tyron Woodley became champion. It went all 5 rounds, and they just fucking left it in there, man. They just left it. They're both just left fucking gushed and bloody. And as soon as the fight was over, it was this real iconic scene where they both just fell over and hit the cage, you know? And I can't believe it. That was like when I first started getting into UFC, or at least like really, really into it.
Yeah.
And I watched it live. Not like live, I wasn't there, but I was watching it like it happened. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? And that's kind of why Condon became like one of my favorite fighters. Cause that was
fucking insane.
So Condon's killer, right? And the thing is, like, you know, you said, like, damn, he looked good. But this is the 3rd fight in a row where it's like, you looked good, and you just barely got away with the loss. Yeah. You know? And it just sucks. Like, do another one. You know, get a win.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know. Barely getting away with a loss is like split decision.
Yeah.
Guillotine choke in the 2nd round. I don't know if that's barely getting away with it. You look good, but you got caught, and then you got choked out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Not to hate on your boy, but...
No. And I know, and that's the thing, though. It's like, damn, he looked good. He should keep going. But also, you definitely lost. And this is 3 in a row. Because the first, I remember, it was when he first came back after that Robbie Lawler thing.
Yeah,
it was against
he was
Damian
out for a
Maia.
while.
Yeah, he was out for about a year and a half. And then he fought Damian Maia. And Damian Maia choked him out in the first round in like 37 seconds or some shit like that.
Really?
It wasn't 30 seconds, but it was like at least a minute.
The first round.
Yeah.
At least.
And it's fucking Damian Maia. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. That is the fight that put Damian Maia in the championship against Tyron Woodley.
Okay.
And then he goes on to lose to Neil Magny, split decision, I think. And then now he gets submitted by Alex Oliveira.
Yeah,
so it's
not
just
good.
like 4 bad losses in a row.
Yeah.
But it's just he keeps showing sparks. So it's just like, oh, should he come back? Should he come back? Because he might still have it.
He could fight for forever. I mean, people could fight for forever, but at a championship level, at that point, do you want to still fight? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lost I don't know the ratings. I can't remember the rankings from last night.
Yeah,
I think Condon was ranked.
14th.
Oliveira was not ranked.
Yeah.
So he's unranked. You were 14, barely in the top 15 anyways, and you lost to an unranked guy. He's for sure falling out of the top 15. Yeah. So now you're unranked. You could fight. If you love to fight, you can fight.
But are you going to make a fucking
at a championship
4-fight win streak to get back and fight whoever may be champion at the time? You know?
Yeah, no.
At 170 pounds, that could be Darren Till in a year. Could be Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, or it could just still be fucking Tyron Woodley, you know? Like, or do you go to Bellator?
You go
or something like that.
Yeah,
do you go to like retirement row and then just go get some wins and go get your money over there? He also has a side business. He has a business that he's in. He makes I think it's called 100 Hands Coffee. So it's cool. It's this new nitro brew thing that he's like really into. Born and raised in Albuquerque, he trains out of Jackson's. And not to go off on about Condon, but I'm a big fan of him.
It's like a dick.
He trains at Jackson's with John Jones, Cowboy Cerrone. Over there in New Mexico. But it
was a good fight.
Oh, it is something.
It was a good fight, but not as good as the headliner.
Main event.
Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. And this was built up for the last couple months, and everybody's waiting to see this because Poirier is a fucking beast. And I wish this thing showed me fucking records.
Poirier,
he's 22-5. Poirier.
And he has wins over Max Holloway, a no contest loss to Eddie Alvarez. He just beat Anthony Pettis, and now Justin Gaethje. He's like, thing with Poirier is he'll win like 3 fights in a row and then get a loss. So he's like, climb the mountaintop, get knocked back down, climb it, and then get knocked back down.
Yeah,
it'll be like 3 in a row, loss, 4 in a row, loss, 2 in a row, loss, and it's just like, damn.
And then Justin Gaethje just came over to the UFC. This is his 3rd fight in the UFC.
From World Series.
We were talking about it earlier. He was a World Series of Fighting champion, and so his first fight in the UFC
was against Michael Johnson.
Yeah, and he fucking kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, he beat the brakes off fucking Michael Johnson. Joke. And then so they're just like, damn, he's here and he's fucking ready to just crush it.
Yeah.
So then they gave him Eddie Alvarez. And that was sort of like, winner of this is really in that top 3, that number 3rd spot in the division, number 3 or number 4, you know? And that was a loss. He fucking got knocked out it was a 3-round fight. It wasn't even that long ago. It might have been earlier this year, if not late last year.
Probably late last year.
And it was a 3-round fight, and they were just both going at it. And that was the fight that Eddie Alvarez was saying, like, the winner of this is the most violent man in the UFC.
Oh, yeah?
You know, he, like, gave that, like, Eddie.
That's cool.
Eddie did good marketing as far as that goes. And now Eddie's known as, like, everyone calls him, like, the most violent man in the UFC, Eddie Alvarez.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it was, like, him and Gaethje. Like, who's going to knock out who first, you know?
Like to see that fight.
And went all 3 rounds. Yeah, it's probably on YouTube, too. Went all 3 rounds, and he got a fucking, I think it was a knee to the fucking head knockout.
Oh, that's horrible.
Just like standing and then like click, and then knocked out. And then to fucking go on to face
Dustin
Poirier, it's no fucking easy task either.
No, not at all. And his first 3 fights in UFC, all like we said earlier, all on main cards, headliners. That's a big fucking deal. And so
it's 3 5-round fights in a row.
The thing about Justin Gaethje is his fucking cardio. Is like the only thing you control in a fight is your cardio. You can't control what the other person's gonna do, or maybe you break your leg, or this, that, or the other. But you can control your cardio. And I guess that's something that he does. Like, he's going to outwork whoever the hell he's fighting.
Yeah.
And so that was, like, a big thing. So it's, like, 5-round fight. Like, let's see, we all know Poirier's a fucking boxer. He's going to throw.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can hold up long enough against Gaethje. And so it was a really good fight. Fucking Gaethje just kept throwing leg kicks the whole fucking time. To Poirier's inside right leg. It was swole as shit. Like, he wasn't even throwing punches. Like,
he was on crutches after the fight. I saw that.
Yeah? Yeah. But fucking Poirier was throwing haymakers, man, and Gaethje was eating them up. He'd cover his head, and Poirier was throwing beautiful combos, man. Yeah. Like 4, 5, 6 combos, dude. It was really nice. Amazing handwork. But again, it wasn't doing anything because Gaethje was just eating it up, taking it, and then releasing. All right, let's go. Leg kick.
Yeah.
And you can see it on Poirier's face. Like, if people could talk in the UFC, he'd for sure be like, dude, stop fucking kicking me in the leg.
Yeah.
Kick me in the leg again, and I'm going to fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? But obviously it's a fight. You're not going to kill him. Not that he could. I'm sure he could try if he wanted to, but he obviously didn't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this was like a video game,
I get
for sure.
No, I know. Yeah,
like dead. Yeah. Sure, stop kicking me in the fucking leg. Like, God, it's so annoying.
Like Joanna and Rose a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like Joanna was just beating the fucking brakes off Rose's leg. So yeah.
So he wasn't doing much, man. But it went into the 4th round, and Poirier was the winner. So Poirier won. No spoilers there. 179 strikes to 116. No takedowns, no submissions, no passes.
This was just
glorified
kickboxing.
Yeah,
match.
Poirier had over 120 strikes in the first 2 rounds.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
So he definitely got tired out 3rd round, and then obviously it ended 33 seconds into the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
But he was throwing, dog.
Yeah.
He was fucking throwing. And then so it goes into the 3rd round, and everyone's thinking that this is the round where Gaethje's gonna.
That's where he's made of.
Yeah, this is where he's made of, and that leg attack on Poirier is going to eat him up. And there was an eye poke earlier in the fight. Gaethje poked Poirier in the eye. And then so in the 3rd round, there was a second eye poke. And they're not even like close. You know how sometimes it's like, you a bitch?
Yeah.
Like they were so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Like the first one was kind of like he was reaching and he hit him in the eye. And the second one, like I thought it was a punch. And then you see the replay and it was like I don't know what you're doing.
He released his fingers at the end of the punch.
Like he went to go punch him,
like
and I was like,
sort of thing.
Yeah,
because like when you shadowbox, you do this.
Yeah, exactly. But he shadowboxed him right in, like almost got him in both eyes.
Yeah,
like his hands touch his whole face.
Yeah,
hands all over your face. Like they for sure don't do that. And then that was like right in the 3rd round.
So Herb Dean.
Yeah, Herb Dean.
Okay.
Good fight. Good ref to call that fight.
Yeah.
So he took a point away from Gaethje. So it's like, that might come to bite him in the ass later if this goes to decision. Yeah. And so Poirier's just throwing, and then that's the 3rd round, and then right at the end of the 3rd round, Poirier does an eye poke. It was a little less obvious, but he still got a warning. And then so we go into the 4th round. It's like, okay, here we go. Same story as the 3rd. Let's see if Poirier's leg gives out, and, Gaethje can eat him up. And it just didn't happen. 33 seconds in, you saw the replay, fucking... Poirier's been hitting him in the head all night.
Yeah.
So eventually it's got to take a toll on anybody.
That's Gaethje's downfall.
He clipped some dude, and then it wasn't like one of these clips. His hands were down, and he caught him, and his legs went weak. So started stumbling,
real stumbly bamby
and
legs.
then you saw the last 10 seconds of the fight.
Dude,
he just
fucking unleashed the fucking the dragon.
Dragon. Yeah. Gaethje fell against the cage, and Poirier was just eating him up, man. It was beautiful. It was a really good fight.
Yeah. And then he fucking goes on to call out Khabib Nurmagomedov, bro.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little much.
Yeah.
Slow down, but not fucking unreasonable. Yeah, he was on a big win streak, and then he had that no contest to fucking Eddie Alvarez, and then he's beaten Anthony Pettis, who's no chump, and then you beat Justin Gaethje, who's also no chump.
Did Eddie Alvarez win his last fight?
Eddie Alvarez did against Justin Gaethje.
Okay, all right.
So now they're both coming off of wins with Justin Gaethje, and they within the last year, it was last year I think, or it might have been late 2016, if not early 2017, was when the two of them had their no contest.
Yeah.
Where Poirier was beating fucking Alvarez, and then Alvarez threw an illegal knee to a downed opponent.
So I thought you said Poirier threw that illegal knee.
No.
Damn, that's bitch made.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, come on, dude, like what the fuck. But yes, I mean Eddie Alvarez, he throws this illegal knee just to kind of get out of the fight, so that way it's not a win, it's not a loss, it's a no contest. And then Eddie goes on to beat Justin Gaethje. And at first they were like, let's do an immediate rematch, Poirier Alvarez, and then they were just like, let's do it. And then he got offered a fight. Eddie Alvarez and Justin Gaethje, they coached the Ultimate Fighter, so he like took this other fight when they sort of had a mutual agreement to redo it.
Yeah,
but a lot of people were saying like Eddie didn't want to, and so he did coach the Ultimate Fighter, which is great press for him and for Gaethje. And then at the Ultimate Fighter finale, him and Gaethje fought, and that's when he beat him. But so now Eddie immediately started saying like, I want my title back, because he was the champion.
Yeah.
You know, he beat some fucking real people. He beat Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah. To
get the championship, and then he lost that to Conor.
Yeah.
And then no contest, Dustin Poirier beats Justin Gaethje, and he's saying like, cool, you know, I want my shit back.
Yeah.
But I think at this time, you know, it's a turning point. And then so the reason I bring all this up is because Poirier calls out Khabib, saying like, I want the belt. I think you both need to just
fight one more time.
Fucking fight. Solve because now we're looking at number 3. Khabib's champ, Conor number 1, Tony number 2, Eddie Alvarez is number 3, and Poirier's number 4. Yeah, I think
you gotta let the whole Tony Khabib Conor circle work itself out.
Yep.
Because Alvarez and Poirier, I feel like, don't deserve to be in that 3.
Right outside of that.
Yeah, they're right outside. So fight each other. Mm-hmm. So there's a clear number 3.
Yeah. Right? And then so there's a clear. Conor is number 1, and Tony Ferguson is number 2. Okay, yeah. But Ferg is out for like a year, and Conor is
4 because Dustin Poirier was 5.
Edson Barbosa, maybe. I'll look it up. Keep talking.
But yeah, so like Eddie Alvarez and Poirier don't deserve to be in that top 3
just yet. Yeah,
just yet. So fight each other. So there's a clear winner there, and then what is it?
Oh, nothing. The app's tweaking.
Let the Ferguson Khabib Conor
situation work itself out.
Yeah, Max Holloway love triangle square figure itself out.
And once all Barbosa, which is stupid.
Barbosa.
Wow. Because he just got beat by Khabib.
Oh, he did?
You know, not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
So it's Khabib, Conor, Tony Ferguson, Eddie Alvarez is 3, Edson Barbosa is 4, okay. Poirier's 5. So this should definitely put Poirier at 4. Yeah. And then we'll have Eddie Poirier fight for that number 3 spot, and
Khabib.
And Khabib, Conor, and Tony, one of them needs to fight each other. But Tony could be out for up to a fucking year. Conor for sure is a vagina, but he should fight Khabib. But if he doesn't, then this will give us a clear next in line. You know,
exactly.
But it's a good night of fights.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was a good fucking card.
Speaking,
love a good Fox Sports free night.
Yeah, that shit's awesome, man. And you guys, if you guys aren't watching UFC, it's the most exciting fucking sport there is, man. I mean, it really is. And it goes year long. You know, you get involved with these fucking fighters, and you start to care about them, and you know their styles, and you know this and who does what, and it just makes it so exciting. It makes it, and there's almost fights every week. Bringing me to the next point, and we'll close out the show sort of with this. Is next week we have a fucking fight. I think April 21st. So that's next weekend or the weekend following. I think it's next weekend.
It's next week, man.
UFC Fight Night, Atlantic City. Fucking Kevin Lee versus Edson Barbosa.
Yeah, dude.
So we got 7 versus 4.
Yeah.
And that's just 2 killers, 2 striking killers.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee, if you guys don't know, he just fought for the interim title last year against Tony Ferguson, and he was doing damn good until Tony got the win. But it was good, and
you got Frankie Edgar,
and you got Frankie fucking Edgar with the quick turnaround against Cub Swanson.
So fucking godly.
Yeah, that's a great
Frankie
fucking
Edgar.
fight. So, and he's from Jersey, so it's him in his hometown.
Yeah.
And then a little bit further down the card, you got David Branch versus Thiago Santos.
That should be a good fight.
Yeah, and then Aljamain Sterling making his second fight at 135 pounds. He just came off a loss to Marlon Moraes.
Yeah,
but
the rest of this card is whatever.
Yeah, and then Tim Miller. It's not trash, but it's
Tim Miller's cool.
It's not.
But it's not bad for fucking Saturday night.
And
Branch Santos.
Yeah, Corey Anderson and Patrick Cummins.
Yeah, dude. Barbosa Lee, Edgar Swanson, dude.
If you guys should do on a fucking Saturday night, watch this, dude.
Watch that.
Those even just for those main 2 fights.
Yeah, dude.
Frankie Edgar versus Cub Swanson. I'd take Frankie in that fight.
Yeah.
Frankie, yeah. I don't remember the last time Frankie lost 2 fucking fights in a row, but he just lost to Brian Ortega. But Cub Swanson's never looked better. They both just lost to Brian Ortega. This is another one of those situations.
Brian Ortega?
Huh?
I think, didn't Poirier beat Brian Ortega? I saw a clip that night.
No, Ortega's undefeated, bro.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Then I saw a clip of him fighting somebody who looked like Ortega.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
He might have fought Ortega and lost.
Oh, okay.
Because Ortega looks like he's losing.
Because it was a replay of him knocking the shit out of somebody who looked, not knocking out, but the clip was him punching somebody
who looked awfully like
Ortega. And I was like, damn, I didn't know he beat him.
Ortega has this thing where he looks like he's losing and then he wins. It's fucking weird, dude. Like he'll lose like 2 rounds and then submission.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's another one of those situations where we have Cub Swanson and Frankie Edgar, both who recently just lost to Brian Ortega. And are in that number 3 and 4 spot type shit, respectively. Yeah. And then a fucking Edson Barbosa and Kevin Lee, which is going to be a slugfest. I mean, Edson Barbosa, if you guys don't know, I think he has the most knockout wins via leg kick in the UFC.
Oh, yeah?
So he won a knockout via leg kick.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard to do. Kick someone so hard in the leg that they're done.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty exciting.
A lot of exciting stuff, and then we got NBA playoffs, and we were going to talk about that today, but I think we'll let it unravel for a week or so and touch on it next week.
Yeah,
and we got NHL and NBA. You know, let the first round go in a couple of games because no reason to talk about it.
Manchester United lost today.
Yeah, all right.
So that means that Man City is the Premier League champions.
Oh, shit.
Whoopty fucking dude.
Hey, Man City. You trash? What a fucking shitty way.
Go fuck
we
yourself.
Won't even stay on it too long. What a shitty way to win the Premier League. You just lost to Liverpool, then you got your asses kicked by us, and then you lose to Liverpool again, and then you get a fuck-ass win over who? Like Crystal Palace or something?
Oh, man, they beat Tottenham.
Oh, shit, they did beat Tottenham. I don't give a shit. You get a fuck-ass win over Tottenham.
Fuck Man City. That's what that means.
Yeah, and for sure not the champions. Shit.
No, they are. They dominated the living shit out of the Premier League. You deserve. You get that far ahead.
You beat them 3 times.
Once in the Premier League.
So we lost in the Premier League twice
early
in the
season.
Yeah.
And then we beat them in the Premier League. And we beat them twice in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say that they're the best in the Premier League is just not true.
Well, they're fucking 12 points ahead of everybody else, man.
I know,
now we're just getting ridiculous.
No,
not like Man City either.
Fuck
them.
Fuck.
But they dominated the living shit out of it. So yeah. Whatever. They deserve. If you get that far ahead, you can afford to lose at the end of the season.
I guess.
Yeah, and we still have like I know.
Because this is where it's like comes down to.
We still have like 8 games left into the champions, so it wasn't even close. So.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, so we'll get into that stuff next week, and then yeah, that's it. I think we'll do fan questions next month, and move into that, then. Other than that,
that's about it. It's fucking snowing, and
we hope you guys enjoy your fucking.
It's fucking
week
April 15th on a Sunday. The fuck.
Yeah, it's trash.
Hope snow doesn't stick, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching
and listening
to the Kyle and Craig Show. My name is Kyle.
My name is Craig. Don't forget to go hit up Mex Italian Pizza. April 18th in Mundelein on Route 83, right next to Taco Bell. 25% off all your purchases on the first day on grand opening. Me and Kyle will be there.
Maybe I could be like an announcer, like a colorman. You know how I always make those interesting comments during the game?
Yeah, you make good comments. They tend to give those jobs to ex-ball players and people that are, in broadcasting.
Well, that's really not fair.
I know.